Hi guys, welcome to Extra Talk. I'm sorry, welcome to OrangeTalk. Today is all about the Dutch team. Today we're going to discuss this with Papimento and our guest Maxwell. Welcome, both of you.
Hi.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Thanks.
So in today's OrangeTalk, we're just about to begin the Dutch team. We're going to play the Euros. So both of you from Holland, from the Netherlands. I'm from Holland, Netherlands as well. So we have to talk about our Dutch national team. And I invited both of you to give your opinion, what you guys think. And of course, because we're an Ajax channel, we're going to discuss a little bit also the Ajax players in the Dutch squad. But let me just start asking you guys, and I will start with Papimento. Up to this point, what do you think? How do you think Frank de Boer is preparing the lads for the tournament? Do you think it's going the right direction or not?
No, exactly how I thought Frank de Boer would coach. So boring and not the right choices. But that's why Mourinho called him the worst coach in Premier League history, right? So I don't know. I'm not hoping for much. We do have some players that can exceed expectations, but we haven't seen it yet.
All right, that's clear. What about you, Maxwell?
Well, I support the Dutch team, of course. I'm from Holland, but I'm not very hopeful that we can reach the finals.
Maybe we should start over. You guys are supposed to be positive. It's our country.
No. I'm positive. It's positive, but I have to be realistic also. So this is just the way it is. I'm not really happy with the way Frank de Boer is doing things. If you compare it with his time at Ajax, he brought on when he started, he brought back the 4-3-3, and now he's working with almost the same people, and he's playing in a total different tactic. So why? I don't know. To me, it's not going to happen.
Maybe he's looking at the players that he has, and he's thinking,
of course,
yeah,
and of course, yeah.
This is the
but,
right.
Okay, let's discuss then the players that they have, because I think Dumfries plays in a four-man defense. Wijndal plays in a four-man defense. Frankie plays midfield. We have De Ligt, Jurjen Timber that play back. We can easily cover four-man on the back, have three midfielders, and have Berghuis, Depay, and let's say Malen in the front,
okay,
or Luc de Jong.
So let me ask you another question. You guys are not really eager about the 5-3-2 that we have been playing in the friendlies recently. Let me ask you another question. The 5-3-2 was also adopted a little bit by Koeman, and also a long time ago by Van Gaal in Brazil, and that made us successful. Don't you think he's maybe thinking, okay, you know what, this has a chance. This might bring us further than the 4-3-3.
Yeah, I can understand the why. It's just, and I can understand the why because of the material. But we are Holland. Like the way I always used to say, we are Ajax. And we want to see a certain kind of play. And I'm not seeing it at the moment with the 3-2, 2-3. And not just the tactics, it's also choosing the right players on the right position.
We'll discuss the players in a moment. I just want to ask you one thing, because you guys are triggering me with a couple of things now. One of the things about the 5-3-2, it's something that he started really going to right before the tournament. So in the matches we played before that, he wasn't playing 5-3-2. We were playing more the
3-4-3 maybe.
Yeah, 4-3-3 exactly. So now he changed it. He looked at, okay, these are the players that I have. And he made a conscious decision to go 5-3-2. And the funny thing is that after the Scotland game, the first friendly game, a lot of players were interviewed after the game because it was not a good match from us. And some players were really, I mean, of course, they were not that harsh, but they did say that they're worried about this formation, that it's not really something they're used to. Because let's be honest, if we look at the players, only De Vrij, I think, is used with Atalanta to play this with three at the back.
as well.
And De
Roon, correct. So the other players, Memphis said it, De Ligt said it.
De Ligt also plays this at Juve, right?
No, not really. I mean,
He
sometimes.
doesn't play with three?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes. But not all the time. I mean, they switch formations, by the way. So yeah. But in general, what's the biggest thing for you guys that doesn't? I mean, is it because we're Holland we have to play 4-3-3, or is there other things that are bothering you at the moment?
No, we are Holland, so we have to play the Holland philosophy, and that is attacking football. And if you play attacking football, the Roan shouldn't be on that midfield. It should be a footballing, high technical midfield that creates a lot of chances, and we're not seeing that. You know, if you put Frankie, how he played at Ajax, on that position as a Busquets role, let's say, and you have Gravenberch in front of him, Donny or Klaassen, you have or Wijnaldum even instead of Klaassen. That's a pretty good midfield. But now with the Roan, he doesn't add anything. Yeah, defensively he adds something, but against Georgia and who else did we play? It doesn't really add much to play him, you know?
Okay, but apart from the Roan, okay, the Roan is only one player. What's the biggest thing you have against the formation?
Well, it's not just the quality of the Roan, but if you look at the team, it's 6 defenders you have on your team.
Can you name them, please?
Well, that's the five on the back.
Okay.
Already,
Dumfries,
the 5 on the
Wijndal.
back, and you also choose to have a midfielder who has a defensive mentality. Just to say it's because of the balance in the team. You have 6 defensive type of players on your team. That's too much. That's too much.
And when you saw Dumfries,
you have 5.
And when you saw
defenders.
Dumfries in the last match, you saw him playing very high up. Dumfries and Wijndal playing high up. That's not the kind of players you want to see in that position. I'd rather see 3 players up front with 2 wingers and 1 striker to really have the right person on the ball when you go up front.
Yeah, exactly. Look, the idea of the wing backs is to bring attacking threat. But what you have seen a lot of times now in the 2 friendlies is that when the ball arrives, they're already high up. So they're not arriving from the defensive and running up front, but they have to receive the ball. And then, like Papimento said, you need wingers, because if you're not a winger, you don't know what to do with the ball at that moment because you don't have space anymore.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah. All right. So, okay. So you guys are not very optimistic.
No. But for example, you can have Promes on that side.
On one side, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because he did that at Moscow. He used to do it at Moscow a long time ago. But that's what we want to see.
Yeah, a little bit what Van Gaal did with Karud, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and of course, maybe when you're playing an opponent who is also attacking very high on the field, then of course I can understand from looking at your material that you want to build in some more defensive thinking players. But if you have to make the game, for example, against Scotland or Georgia, then why are you choosing for 6 defensive-minded players?
And may I add something? Why. May I add something? Just looking at De Ligt, for instance, and Frankie de Jong, those are quality players. We're talking about one of the best players in the Dutch squad at the moment. That coupled with Jurjen Timber, that should be sufficient as a threesome on that. One central midfielder. Defensive kind of, and you have De Ligt and Jurjen Timber behind that.
You're advocating for 4-3-3. You want 4 at the
back. Of course. Yeah, of course. I'm not a fan of De Vrij. I think, a lot of people are, but I'm not.
One of the best Italian defenders. You know that, right?
Yeah, but not. I don't think he plays this way and high up with a lot of space in his back in Italy. So, it depends all how you want to play. I'd rather play like how Ajax plays, far from the goal. And then you require speed and you require positioning. And then even that, you can even put Frankie a little bit more up. We totally forgot about Blind. You can even put Blind in that position on the midfield and have Frankie with Gravenberch, for instance. It will give you so much more football, man, on that midfield. So, there are a lot of options,
Yeah.
but Koeman chooses to go 6 defensively minded players.
The Boer.
What the style of
the Boer,
play
sorry.
of the Boer is lacking is a high ball circulation. You can easily see the ball go from left to right on the field, and that's strange if you ask me, because most of the players are used to on their own teams not to play the ball from left to right, but horizontal on the field. You know, so. Is it the Boer who is asking this of the players? Is it the tactics? I don't know, man.
All right. Okay, guys. Let's move and talk about something else, which has to do with the Dutch team, of course. From an Ajax angle, we want to talk about the Ajax players that are now that will play for the Euros. So the most important player I have to come up with is Blind. Amazing how fast he recovered, and he played half of the game against Georgia, and he played pretty well.
He
right?
did.
So how
almost like the same Blind when he was before his injury.
Exactly. So how pivotal do you guys think he is for this Dutch team? Do you think he's as important as he is for Ajax for the Dutch team as well?
I think he probably will, but even on the last match, you could still see he is not where he has to be. His lack of speed is still not in his favor. And on the other hand, he will never be a very fast player. So maybe like already was said before, maybe he should be on the midfield, because he is so important in the ball circulation, in timing when to press the ball, coaching. Yeah,
his vision is exquisite. I mean, you can compare him to a Pirlo for us. So yeah, put him on that midfield. Put 2 fast players behind him, and let him sort it out on the midfield, like make the plays, like a quarterback. He doesn't need to defend much, but at least he will bring some high rotation, ball speed in that midfield, or cross a ball that is required in the depth. Other players won't do it. Deron would certainly not do that. So Blind is crucial for this Dutch team.
Yeah, I think Blind and also Frankie, if they're used in the right, way they're supposed to be used, they are critical for our build-up play, as a Dutch team. And the thing that you see now, because of the 5-3-2, usually when you play 4 at the back, I think Pavimento also touched upon it, is that Frankie is used at Barcelona, but also at Ajax, to come back, like what Gravenberch does for Ajax. He comes back to pick up the ball. You have a 3 back, and then the wings can go up a little bit. But you cannot do that when you have already 3 at the back. You cannot also go and, help with the build-up.
The ball.
Exactly. So, and the thing I like actually about you guys, about saying maybe Blind should be on the midfield together with Frankie, it means they can switch those roles. It becomes a little bit less, for the opponents, it become less, of, okay, we have to get Frankie or we have to get Blind. They can rotate on that.
It will be very hard to press both,
Exactly.
So, and Frankie,
but also Gravenberch.
But exactly, we even have Gravenberch.
Exactly.
Also Gravenberch, yeah.
Exactly.
But I think the misconception is that those players cannot play together without a player like Deron next to them. And I think that's, with so much experience, what Frankie already did at La Liga, and we have Blind that has a lot of experience also, it should be doable. And that coupled with De Ligt and Jurjen Timber behind that, I think that's sufficient backup to really make it work.
You would play with De Ligt and Timber as a central duo in 4-3-3?
Yeah.
Maxwell, what do you think?
And I don't mind that they're both not a lefty. I don't mind that, because they're not going to be the one that's going to build up. It's or Frankie or Blind that's going to come for the ball. So
what do you think, Maxwell? What do you think about that?
I would be okay with that.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I don't know if you were going to ask it, but if you're going to ask me who amazes me the most, then it would be Timber. That guy is so amazing. I'm really wondering where his where the next level is and where it's going to end for him. Really, how much ease and he brings into his game, like he's playing his 50th or 100th game for the Dutch team already. But he keeps amazing me how easy he adapts, and even sometimes take the team on a roll. He's doing things in his own box that keeps amazing me, and it still works out for him. So putting him next to De Ligt, or next to Blind, I don't think that would be a good thing because of the lack of the speed, but I would be okay with it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I touch upon? Man, I agree. If you look at the ball on Wijnaldum against Scotland, the way he gives that ball, I mean, we have to consider he's so young and he still does that from standing still, right? He wasn't even moving and the ball was perfect. So yeah, great player. I just wonder, and we had the discussion a lot, where will he end? Like, where will he play in a high level team? Will he go right back? Will he stay right central back? Or will he go into a sixth position kind of Busquets style? Because his height is always an issue. And I don't know if when he goes to a bigger league, that height can manage that in a central role.
Yeah, so look, if you play with him with De Ligt next to him, that shouldn't be a problem, I think, because De Ligt is a good, he can head the ball pretty well. The thing I wanted to ask you, basically, Pavimento was a bit quick on that one, but Dumfries is important in the wing-back role, If we play 5-3-2, I can imagine also Dumfries playing that. What if we play 4-3-3? Would you still go with Dumfries or would you go with Timber? Because I'm asking this because it also changes the role a little bit, because if you're in a 4-3-3, the back players, the wing backs, I mean, they get a little bit more the ball. They have to also help more with the build-up play.
Timber is, to me, is important and seeding out with the ball on his feet. But the thing where he can grow, still can grow, is higher up the field. He's strong in a small space, but his cross pass isn't not well from the center. It's okay, a cross pass front, but from the side, I think it's not where it should be.
Yeah,
in that case, I would.
Yeah, no, I agree. He didn't show that skill yet. He knows how to give the proper, cross for people to score from that position higher up the pitch. So I'd rather see him as a central position next to De Ligt than taking Dumfries' side. And Dumfries, at PSV, he plays on a four-man back. So he also plays the right back position in a four-man defense. So he can do that. But with Dumfries, that lacks a little bit the football IQ, in my opinion. You would have a winger there that can take over that ball. Even if he makes the rushes, the winger will give or the cross or do a creative pass inside the box.
Yeah. The thing is, when you play with a winger and if you play it Ajax style, then the wingers come inside and then the wing backs can go, to the line. That's usually what you do at Ajax. So, okay. So look, we touched upon Daley Blind, Ajax player. We touched upon Timber, Ajax player. So we have a couple of others. Let me go a little bit back now. Let's start about the goalkeeper. Who would you pick? Objectively.
Well, I would have never thought to say it, but I would go for Stekelenburg.
Of course.
Well, he's almost my age, but come on, come on.
But listen.
No, what this guy is doing, he is even better than his previous time at Ajax. He's better than his previous time at Ajax. The thing that I was scared of when he played his first time at Ajax, he was a good line keeper, but when every high ball in front of the goal, I was always scared shitting myself when he was on the goal. But now even he's so much a resting point at the back. He's coaching, but on one-on-ones, he wins them. and he showed it at Ajax already. And I would have never thought that he would could reach this level again.
He's very calm and composed. I think also, as they say, goalkeepers get better with age, most of them, and you see it with him as well. So listen, why would you choose Stekelenburg over Krul? I mean, why not Krul?
I have seen Krul in a couple of games this year, and also at the Dutch team. He is not doing it for me, and he's not doing it for me in a long while. Actually, maybe after, he got his status, of course, from the magnificent substitute from Van Gaal years ago. But after that, he hasn't. No, he didn't show it for me to be a number one, or even maybe deserves to be on the squad, if you ask me.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree with Maxwell, man. I mean, Krul did have a period where he was amazing, but it wasn't like that the last couple of years. And I think Stekelenburg just showed at Ajax how good he is and how good he can be, almost faultless, So yeah, you have to give it to him. And the added bonus is he already has experience with being the keeper, the goalkeeper for Oranje. So yeah, just let him play it. Krul, I know he's a very good penalty stopper. So maybe you can use him if it goes to a penalty or something. You switch him for Stekelenburg. But of course, Stekelenburg should be number one keeper.
All right. Okay, guys. So let's move to another player. Fourth one. The youngest, I think, of the squad, Gravenberch. So should he play? Yes or no?
Yeah, he should get more minutes. Yes, and then we're coming back to what we said before. If you want a team with a high ball circulation, then you need guys like Gravenberch. I'm not saying he should play, but you need more players like him on the field, and maybe he should get more minutes, longer minutes, or start from the start.
But look,
he should be the number one. Sorry, Juan, but he should be the number one guy coming off the bench for me. Look, you have if you look at what I want to play on the midfield, it would be Blind, Frankie, and maybe Wijnaldum. Okay, so let's say Blind cannot play in the first couple of games, the full game. Gravenberch should be the next step. Substitute Blind for Gravenberch, or anyone from the midfield that goes off. It should be Gravenberch. The only reason why you would put De Roon is maybe if you're 2-0 ahead and you wanna hold that lead. That's it.
Okay, let me touch upon something. Let me get it right. Both of you basically agree on the fact that the midfield position, apart from Wijnaldum, who plays a little bit more attacking, so I will just ignore him for a moment, and that we will touch upon Klaassen as well. But the pivot, if we talk about the pivot role, and if we would talk about 4-3-3, it's something that you want to play. So let me go with that as well. You would say that for the two midfielder position right in front of the defense, you would choose between Frankie always plays, and then you would choose, or you would select Blind over Gravenberch now, but it should be those three for those positions. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But I would really like to talk about a 4-3-3, because I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to happen. So I'd rather go with the tactic that the coach has chosen for the 5-3-2, and because I think that's the most logical after the previous games we've seen. Mm-hmm. And in that role, then or in that kind of way of playing, then you can have those three on the midfield, definitely.
So you would choose Gravenberch, Frankie, and Blind instead of Wijnaldum?
No, I would even put in all four of them, because I would take out De Roon, and I would maybe choose one of the five to be more of a build-up midfielder.
Okay, hold on. Maxwell, just to make it a bit more clear for the viewers, the three at the back, who would you choose in the 5-3-2 of the Boer? Who would you choose as the three defenders?
I would always go for De Ligt. De Vrij, maybe, or Timber.
All right. So you would not pick Blind then to play at the back?
Could be.
Because
If I would play with those four guys, yes, then I would choose Blind as one of those four guys, because he can be that midfielder when you need him. And the others, maybe Timber can do it also, but De Vrij he's the only real defender on that pitch, or De Ligt. They are only defenders, but Timber and Blind are the ones who can dribble into the midfield, or can bring an extra man to the midfield. So if you position one of those guys on the one of the five, then you already have more ball circulation in what I'm expecting from those players.
Yeah.
And then on the midfield, and you have Frankie, because he's the number one person I would sign up for my basic team. Gravenberch, Wijnaldum.
Okay, Pavimento, you?
Yeah, I find it weird. If I have to go from the 5-3-2, how the coach is playing now, I just don't understand why you would pick Weghorst and Luc de Jong to go with you. Because you're not gonna.
Hold on.
You're not gonna use them in a two.
We're not talking about the attacking right now.
No. I understand, but I just don't understand the whole formation. But okay, so if we're playing the 5-3, I would do Blind, De Ligt, Jurjen. That would be my back, and then we have Frankie in front of it. Wijnaldum, Gravenberch on the midfield.
All right. Then we're moving a little bit up front, because we have still Klaassen to discuss. So you guys would all choose Wijnaldum. Klaassen would be a bench player in both of your choices.
Yeah.
Well, I would choose...
even though he has been more important than we all could have thought. If you look back on the transfer of him coming to Ajax. But if you compare him on that position with the other players, then I think Wijnaldum is a better choice over Klaassen.
Is he a better choice?
Yeah. Well, Klaassen is a different kind of player. They play on the same position, but it's a different kind of player. And I think Klaassen would be a good substitute when you need some energy into the game. If you want to make a difference, maybe later in the game, it's a guy who brings a lot of energy, and he's a guy who can run the field from left to right. He has that energy, and of course he has the talent to choose his position to score goals, and that's the thing that Wijnaldum doesn't have. So he can still be important. Of course, I'm not saying he shouldn't play, but he can still be important.
Yeah, you know my opinion. I mean, it's that Donny van de Beek got injured, or else Klaassen wouldn't see minutes. So yeah, my opinion is Klaassen bench. That's the only one that I don't think he's gonna cut it on that midfield. So
okay, but do you agree also with Maxwell and my take as well that Klaassen has more the ability to score goals than Wijnaldum?
Yeah, might, but it means that you have to play very attacking, and I'm not seeing that yet. I'm not seeing the press and only on the half of the opponent, because that's where Klaassen excels. If you're pressing on the half of the opponent and he's coming in the box a lot. But if you're gonna play like 20 meters off the box, that's not his strong suit.
Yeah. Okay.
So
all right. So now we can go with the point that that Pavimento made, and Pavimento could go first. So the attacking. So up till this point, it was Weghorst and Memphis. Not a fan, Pavimento?
No. The only thing is, what I'm saying is, if you play Weghorst and Luc de Jong, for instance, that's also on the bench, play wingers. If you're going to play two up front, then it has to be a Malen, Depay, or, Depay, maybe Gakpo. But, somebody that can dribble with the ball, somebody that can create something from nothing. And those are that kind of players. Wout Weghorst is not going to run make a big run for you. No, he has to get that ball in the box, right? to finish it. And the same with Luc de Jong. His headers are amazing, but he has to have an amazing cross for him to make that goal. If you're going to play a little bit further off the pitch, you have to have a Malen, you have to have a Depay. So with a two striker option, I would go for Malen and Depay and not Weghorst and Luc de Jong.
All right. Okay. Maxwell,
I have nothing to add to it. I fully agree. No, I fully agree.
Perfect.
Yeah, because we saw it in the last game when Malen came in. It was a total different game. Total different. Okay, it was the game was already over. Okay, but you saw some the team got more dynamic. The play got more dynamic, and that's what you expect from playing on this tactic.
Yeah.
With two players high on the pitch.
And don't forget, Juan, when we played the 5-3-2 formation, when we did so well in the World Cup with Louis van Gaal, we had up front two amazing players that were doing it for us. It was Van Persie and Robbe that were carrying basically the whole attacking load. So you have to consider that. Who's going to be those two persons for us up front if you play with only two up front?
Do you remember also that Blind was playing actually from the left side in that World Cup?
Correct.
Yep.
Is that something maybe worth thinking about? Because up till this point, the last thing I want to touch upon, Wijndal hasn't been really showing what he's capable of in the last two friendlies. Do you think he's not really familiar with this 5-3-2? He's struggling a little bit with this, or what do you think?
Well, it's all like what you said before, and the same goes for Dumfries on the other side. They are already standing on a position where they need to walk into, and to me, that's where it goes wrong. Because they can both have a good cross pass from the side. But they are already standing there. So what they're doing, what they're going to do, they're going to play the ball back or play it into the midfield instead of making those rushes that we see those guys make in the Eredivisie.
So basically, it is also what you said, ball circulation. If you want to play the 5-3-2 with the wing backs, the speed of the passing should be quicker, so they can, because at the end, because everything is slow, they get the ball at the end of the attack and they're already up front. So they have to receive earlier so they can run up front, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's more space to run into, and also you create it from your ball possession. And now you're gonna, or I'm talking from the coach point of view. Now he's putting the people on the place where they want to be. Now they are already. Bring out one defender or two defenders luring with them. So you're not really exceeding on the pitch.
Yeah. All right.
My opinion on Wijndal is he has outgrown the Eredivisie, as they say, but we haven't seen that yet with Oranje. So I mean, look, just to be serious, if you look at the Roma game, that's the perfect way how to play the 5-3-2, right? And what they were doing is playing on one side and stretching the field on the other side and giving a high ball long to Spinazzola that will run into the space. Where have you seen it? The only thing I've seen from Wijndal and Dumfries against Scotland, for instance, was sideways passes. I didn't see them getting the ball in space. So if you're going to play that way, play it right, you know?
Yeah. All right, guys. I think this is enough for today's session. Thank you both. Before we finalize, we started a little bit with how we thought about the Dutch team. Now that we have talked about the Dutch team, final question. I will start with you, Maxwell. Where does it end? Will we win the championships or not? The Euros?
I think we can be happy if we reach the quarterfinals.
Okay. All right. Papimento?
Quarterfinals should be doable.
Guys, be sure to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and most importantly, join the discussion in the comments below.